Hi, and welcome to the Denton Homestead. I was just editing some videos and realized that I had never uploaded a video that we had done when we had harvested our chickens a few weeks back. So this is the video about harvesting chickens, our first experience of harvesting the chickens. This is in no way a how-to, this is how we did.
Okay, this is our setup for tomorrow. Our chicken processing. Cooler's full of ice already. Table that I learned this from somebody on YouTube. PVC, Schedule 40 PVC to extend the table up so you got a good working height on it and you're not bending over and wrenching your back. So good height. Old piece of countertop. That's my cutting board that I've been using for years, needs to be cleaned, but this actually came from a hockey rink. It was the section of the boards from a hockey rink. And scalding pot is a turkey fryer with a basket in it. Brand new, never been used chicken plucker. Can't wait to try it out. But these are our dispatching cones. They're just old traffic cones that, you know, we're getting tossed out. Scrap wood. I don't know if you've noticed the theme here. I don't like spending money. This right here was an investment though, and hopefully it gives us a lot of good service for many years to come. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the Denton Homestead. Today we are going to harvest 29 chickens, 3 roosters, and 26. No, we're not going to do all of them.
We're not going to do all of them. We're going to save a few.
We're going to save a few to see if we can breed them, but it's going to be a long day. This is our first time doing this really. Rick did ducks and a rooster a year ago, but on this scale, this is the first time we're doing this. So right now he's trying to get the scalding water at the right temperature. We are all set up, and I guess we're going to do the roosters first. The videos that I watch, he's watched tons of videos and stuff, and we did watch at the Farm Where You Live event. We did watch the process of doing a chicken. This is the first time, so we're a little nervous. I did want to mention that last night, the video that we posted yesterday on the chicken tractors and stuff, it might have seemed like we were being a little callous about the roosters. I do value all life. I don't value being attacked or chased up the driveway. And so my thought is that if you're going to do homesteading, if you're going to use the resources that God gave us to help yourself become more sustainable, once something has outlived its usefulness, it's time to finish it. So Beast and Rainy and Rocky, they all lived good lives, and they have had much longer on this earth than what I personally think they deserve. And we're not going to waste anything. But I just wanted to say that I didn't mean to be callous if it came off that way. We do respect life. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're not going to show a lot. Not going to show the actual kill because it just seems weird.
You can see that elsewhere.
You can see that elsewhere. I also know that community standards with YouTube is a little bit different depending on who you are. So we're just going to leave that be, and we'll do some updates as we go through. We've been putting 3 birds in the plucker at a time. It seems to be able to handle that pretty well. See all the feathers coming out the side. It works pretty well. I'm wondering if the parts that doesn't work has to do with the temperature of the scalding.
Good.
I've been taking the feathers and picking out non-feather stuff, spraying them down, and then letting them dry a little bit. I will be laundering these. I bought a couple special bags, mesh bags, very small mesh. I'll be laundering these and sending them to a friend who lives in Arkansas who can make stuff out of them. I like the idea of making stuff out of them, but honestly, I have no time. We're about halfway through, and the biggest hang up that we're having is keeping the scalder at a consistent temperature where it's not too hot. So you may spend a little bit money to buy a few parts so Rick can make, what'd you say it was going to be? What's it called?
The scalder. Yeah, just an electric one. Just need a heating element, a thermostat.
No, we may do that going forward. We're back. It's the next day.
We're gonna finish up our packaging. The birds have been chilling overnight, and we're just gonna shrink wrap them today. And right now we're just waiting for our water to heat up, and then we'll get going on that.
So we ended up doing 15 of the kosher kings in the 3 roosters. We're keeping 5 of the kosher kings to breed, to see if we can start making our own meat birds with actual birds that were intended for that purpose alone. And then the other 6 that were left we didn't do because they were a little on the small side.
Yeah, they were hens, and the hens are naturally smaller anyway, but these guys were a little undersized, so we decided to give them another week.
And so we'll finish them up next week. But today we're just waiting for the water to warm up, as he said, and then we're going to shrink wrap them and get them ready to go in the freezer. We got 13 shrink wrapped and in the freezer. Not bad for our first batch. We still have 6 we're going to process next week. The 3 roosters we're going to carve and put through the meat grinder because they're older birds and probably wouldn't be great roasting. And then there was one other one that had a rough time in the chicken plucker, and so we're actually just cooking that tonight. We're off to a good start for this whole raising our own meat thing. So at the end of it all, by letting the 5 other chickens or 6 other chickens that we did go another 2 weeks, the kosher kings, it maybe added 6 ounces to a pound of meat. We averaged overall each bird, or it was anywhere. There was one that was like 3.15 ounces, 3 pounds 15 ounces. Most of them were 4 something on the higher end. We had a couple that were 5 pounds. Now, a couple that were just over 5 pounds. Now, we had put off doing like a half a dozen of them, five or six of them, because they were a little on the small side. And so our intention was to do it the following week. Well, the following week didn't work out weather-wise, so they actually went 2 weeks. That 2 weeks, they looked bigger to us, but they weren't that much bigger. For feeding the chickens for two more weeks, weren't that much bigger. Kosher kings eat a lot. Their only way to describe them when you go out to feed them is ravenous. It's like they haven't eaten ever. So I don't know. I know Rick really wants to try Cornish cross, so he might get some meat birds, order some towards the end of the summer. I think I don't believe they take as long to grow out as these. We waited 9 weeks for the majority of them, and then we ended up doing the other 6 at 11 weeks. Obviously, the less time you can feed them, the more money you're saving, where you're putting meat in the freezer. So we may do. He's talking about wanting to do Cornish cross. I want to eventually breed out some of the chickens that we have to see how they do, that aren't just specifically meat birds, to see how they do. So it was an interesting experience. I learned a lot. I had mentioned in a video that I did post last week, I think, it's hard when you're holding the bird and they're looking at you and you're looking at them, you look at them in the eye and you know, I'm gonna eat you. It puts you have more respect for life. So gutting them didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. I guess that's the word you use, gutting them. Didn't bother me as much as I thought. I do feel blessed that we were able to go through this experience of being able to harvest chickens, and I look forward to doing it again. We do it with a different breed. The reason why I wanted to get the dual purpose birds is in case there was ever a situation or a time that you weren't able to get the birds that are specifically bred as broilers. So tell me if you've had any experience, if you're watching this, if you haven't done this, if you've thought about doing it, tell me what you think about it. So thank you for joining me. See you next time. Be a blessing and be blessed.